شمس هذيك في الوجه على الفاضي.
فيو هذا
عندهم على الفاضي شمس.
شمس.
The Palestinian Health Ministry claims dozens of people have been killed after airstrikes on the Maghazi refugee camp in Gaza. Sky News has spoken to a father who lost 4 of his children in the strikes on the refugee camp, and Sky's Mark Stone has this from Jerusalem.
He is a photographer himself. He is a cameraman, and he was out filming last night. And while he was out, the refugee camp where he lives, which is incidentally south of the Wadi Gaza, the Gaza River, in the area which is supposed to be safer, it was hit by a missile strike. Now, his story is replicated over and over, but he lost his 4 children. He lost his 4 siblings as well, his 3 brothers and his sister, and all of their children as well. And only his wife survives. She is in hospital. He takes one of his dead children into the hospital room so that his injured wife, who is unable to leave the hospital, is able to say a final goodbye. It is a glimpse, one glimpse of one family of so many that are going through hell right now. As I said, the power is down in Gaza at the moment, so we haven't been able to get hold of our teams there right now. The power went down about a week ago. It was cut off by the Israelis. The Americans then said, you can't do that. You need to turn it back on. And they did, but it's been cut again now tonight. And to give you a sense, too, of the challenges beyond the deaths and the injuries. I was talking to a UN official, a senior UN official here in Jerusalem earlier on, and she told me that there are 160 litres of fuel left, 160,000 litres of fuel left in Gaza now. That will last perhaps a couple of days before the generators that are powering the hospitals and powering the sewage systems turn off. There are 9,000 cancer patients in Gaza at the moment. There are 1,000 dialysis patients. There are 50,000 pregnant women in Gaza. That's 5,000 who give birth every month. All of these people clearly in desperate need of hospitals that are not only running out of power but are also being targeted too.
Israel's heavy bombardment of Gaza intensifies. Strikes are coming from air, land and sea. It's now been more than 30 days since Hamas attacked southern Israel. CNN's Melissa Bell is in Cairo. She spoke to an Italian humanitarian worker and his Palestinian wife who'd just crossed over into Egypt via the Rafah crossing. Spoke to them about the devastation they witnessed in Gaza.
For nearly a month now, Gaza has been almost entirely cut off. Now, finally, some are getting out, bringing images like these captured on their phones along with their stories.
I don't think there are enough words in the English dictionary to actually describe what every Gazan is going through right now.
The pictures of Amal and Jacopo as they got through Rafah on Wednesday speak of their relief. As an Italian, he was lucky to be one of the first out, as his wife, Amal, was allowed through with him, even though she's Palestinian.
For 2 days we were completely blacked out. You can just think of the worst and you keep on telling, we're gonna be next. That's what you keep on telling yourself. It's gonna be us next. The humanitarian situation is catastrophic. We can't find water, food, bread. When people go to bakeries, they freaking die because they have bombed almost all of the bakeries in Gaza.
What difference would a humanitarian pause make?
Like, it's not important to reach a humanitarian truce, but an actual ceasefire, a prolonged one, with strong conditions.
A Gazan would say they are giving us some painkillers and then they're gonna continue wiping us out. But we will manage to get some water and some food, and then they can just kill us. So,
tell me about the feeling of people inside about that sense of what's happening to them.
I think they feel alone, abandoned. So that's the issue. Like, no one is talking about like children who died, or like women who are delivering like in very poor hygienic situations.
this is so inhuman. And then they come in the news and they tell you Israel has the right to defend itself. Come on, what are we talking about? Come on, they are wiping us out. We have entire families killed. I'm just wondering what the world is waiting to see so they can actually start doing an action.
But with no hope in sight, Amal and Jacopo made the hardest of choices, leaving behind an entirely besieged and bombarded Gaza. Was leaving a difficult decision?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult decision. Like, as humanitarian, like, our role is to stay like together with the population, like people in need. So it was so difficult to take this decision. Like, we couldn't operate anymore. The situation wasn't safe anymore for us. So many people are talking about this coming out as a victory for us, but it's not a victory. Like, we are like it's a loss for everyone.
To be honest, since yesterday I was already regretting going out because the entire day I was unable to reach my family. So I couldn't even tell them that I made it safely and I'm okay. And I know that's my mom. She actually begged me to go out. For me, I wouldn't have done it. And I still feel I shouldn't have gone out. You know, the survival guilt.
They say the future is impossible to imagine, even as they head to Italy with their heads full of Gaza and their hearts desperate to return.